Oh boy. Oh boy. I just want to know, when are we going to win? When will we win a game of rugby league? When will it happen? Hello, Callan. I hope you're well, my friend. How are you feeling after the weekend?
Uh, Disappointed that we didn't have a win, but I'm happy that the effort has improved.
Yeah, nah, fuck the Broncos. Fuck this. Nah, I can't deal with it. Their fans were a disgrace Friday night. I was there, obviously. I had a good time, but I can't deal with it anymore. Broncos supporters, they are the worst. They are literally the worst in the NRL. They make me so sick, man. Friday night, honestly, it just shits me off. Like, got it at 12 all. We looked so good. I thought we were going to win the game. Then we did some dumb things at dumb times, and then they end up winning the game. I just want to know why and when and how and why the fuck are we losing so much? 0-3 to start the year. I'm just about to explode, man. Can we please win on Saturday? Like, for crying out loud. This is not even Nick from Australia talking at the moment. This is Nick. This is a different character right now. I'm just so tired of losing. I want to win. I want to see the boys get to win. And because I'm not going to be at the game on Saturday, just fucking win that I'm not there. So that's going to annoy me even more. It's going to annoy me even more. I'm not going to be at the game Saturday. Just friggin' win. God damn it. God damn it. Well, I'll be down there for the Panthers game next weekend, and then obviously Perth the week after. But we got to win. We got to win one soon. Hello to the chat. Hello to the chat. Hope everyone's good. Hope you guys are doing better than me. I'm obviously not doing too well. I'm just getting frustrated with these losses, man, to start the year. Not where you want to be. Jason. Hello, Jason. Hello, Martin. Josh, Cooper, Rishi, HB Aviation, SS Storm Fan, everyone that's here. Will Pearson, Tommy Steele, just sub from London, UK. I appreciate it. And thank you very much for the $3 super chat, Tommy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for that. That'll probably get me a can of Coke when I go to the shops, to be honest. But episode 7 of the Cowboys TV podcast. I'm going to try and be positive as I can here, but I'm feeling really flat, if I'm being honest. I'm feeling flat. I don't feel like I have the energy and the excitement that I normally have. It's been a tough start to the year. We're 0-3. I'm flat as a friggin' pancake. Callan might have a bit more positive thought than I do right now, but let's just get into it, man. Let's get into it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Make sure you check out Callan's channel. Honestly, go and check it out. It's a good channel. It's building, and it's going to get bigger as the time goes by. All right. Let's just get the elephant out of the way, man. Thoughts on the loss to Brisbane. I was that pissed off Friday night after the game. I delayed my review by 24 hours because I wanted to watch the game back, and it made me even more mad, if I'm being completely honest. But Callan, what'd you make of the game on Friday night against the Broncos? What'd you make of it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I thought the effort was much improved. You know, I I had moments. It was my first game to sit on the couch at home,
Yeah.
and my TV's been playing up, and I hadn't watched TV in the lounge for that long. I turned the TV on, it worked. Well, there's a good sign. And we, like you said, 12 all. I started thinking we're going to win this. But my biggest disappointment was our attack. I thought we looked very ordinary in attack. It was a few, a few bad. Like we defended really well, and then the thing, like we always do, we have a few mistakes, and it costs us dearly. And we, in the past, we've been able to come back. We're a team that never gives up. But that team, with a few points put on us, and just didn't look like we were a chance.
It was a different sort of Queensland derby. Like, the atmosphere was great. I won't deny that. Our fans showed up well. Like, the away bay was sold out. All three of them were sold out, really. Great atmosphere. Game, I mean, at half time, we were down 12-0. And I thought, I'll take 12-0. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I thought we were still in the game at 12-0. And then obviously we started the second half really well with Griffin Eames scoring and then Murray Talangi. And it was 12 all there, and then just dumb errors at dumb times, which led to the opposition scoring. And then the energy got sucked out of us, really, because the Broncos had all the momentum again and we lost it. So obviously we scored that late try with Purdue with 5 to go, and we're down 8 with 3 minutes to go or whatever it was, down 10 with 3 or 4 to go. And then I'm like, well, we got to score this set. And then I think we dropped the ball, and that was pretty much all she wrote from there. But I don't know.
And then with that that late try, then we just like what we've always done, we started throwing the ball around. I think, mate, it's too fucking late.
It's like,
like never give up, but where was that second phase play? The forwards were laying a bit of a platform, and there was just nothing coming out of it.
I mean, we dominated this game for the first 20 minutes. Like, we were on top. And then the first 15 minutes of the second half from the 40th. So I would say from the first minute to the 20th minute, we were on top. And then from the 40th minute to the 65th minute, or probably the first 20 of the second half, we're probably on top. So 40 minutes of that game, we're probably the better team. But just dumb errors at really bad times cost us dearly. And
yeah, I think if we limit the errors, Reece Walsh, that 40-20, if that went out, we get a 20-metre restart. And like I say, limit the errors.
Yeah.
It's anyone's ball game. But you've got to limit errors, but you've got to defend your errors. That's just something we can't do at the moment.
Now, I'm not going to blame referees for the result. I will say, though, the Murray Talangi no penalty try or professional foul where Reece Walsh took his head off of his shoulder, I am so confused to why he wasn't in the sin bin. Like, I genuinely don't understand why he wasn't sin binned. He shoulder charged him right in the head. Now, if Murray Talangi catches that ball and goes over, we're talking about a potential broken jaw or a broken face to Murray Talangi. I don't understand how that wasn't a sin bin. Like, if that had been any other fullback, they're gone. Like, we've seen them being sin bins plenty of times. So it confused me why that wasn't a sin bin. I don't understand it. What was your take on that when you're watching it live?
Yeah, well, I thought a sin bin. I don't think it was a penalty try, but I would have been happy with sin bin. Like, to look at what Jackson Purdue got sin bin for last week. Was
Yeah.
it last week or the week before? You know,
Against Cronulla?
I thought, I couldn't work that one out, and then something, that we're trying to rule out of the game, that, not much come of it.
I did and the thing is, Reece Walsh got a $3,000 fine, which is not. I mean, it's not a lot of money for him, but if he's getting a fine for that contact, why the hell wasn't he in the bin? I genuinely don't understand why he wasn't in the bin. And guess who set up the try to put Brisbane back ahead? It was Reece Walsh's pass to Jesse Arthurs, which led to a try. So it led to 16, 18, 12 Brisbane. Now, I will say as well, Callan, during the game, I don't know if you noticed it, but we did lose Viliami Vialia. We had Sam McIntyre out in the centres for a long time in this game, and he tried really hard, but he was clearly out of position. I thought he deserves a bit of a rap for all the hard work he did out there on Friday night.
Yeah, he done well. Yeah, it was disappointing with Vialia getting the eye injury and not being able to see.
Well, he's all good now.
Yeah.
Thank God. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about much more about this game, but who would you say was our best player Friday night in the loss to the Broncos?
Geez.
I'd probably go Tamalolo or Jackson Purdue.
I was just going to say that. I thought Jason and Jackson.
They were good. They were really good. I thought Cohen Hess and Griffin Neame both had good impact once again, but they both made some silly errors at bad times. But Hess and Neame, they were good, but they got to fix their errors up, I reckon. That's for sure. All right, let's move on from that disaster of a game to the team list reaction. Obviously, the team got announced yesterday, and Todd Payton has stuck strong with the exact same 17 to take on the Raiders on Saturday, 5:30 in New South Wales, 4:30 up there in Queensland. Are you comfortable with the same 17? Obviously there were some good signs against the Broncos, but would you have made any changes from the Broncos game?
Yeah, I'd bring Nanai in the starting side. I'd probably drop Bateman, and I'd like to see McKaylee get a shot. He's a guy that seems to add a lot of oomph, and that's something we need, that extra impact coming off the bench. And if you're going to drop Nanai for that game, to me, you've set a precedent, that changes need to be made at times. And, I just think we need that little bit of extra. He's a young bloke, and, if an old bloke is not going to perform, you got to give a young bloke a go. What's the point of having these guys?
It's tough because I thought Bateman in the game against Manly and Cronulla, I thought he was probably one of our better players, probably in our top 5 better players from those games. Obviously, the game against the Broncos was one to forget. I would like to see Nanai start and Bateman off the bench. I think Bateman off the bench could be a little secret weapon that could actually be utilised the right way. I think it could work out quite well. But See, the thing is, Jeremiah Nanai, we're paying him about $900,000 a year. We're paying him huge money. And this is the second game in a row we're going to have him come off the bench. I think Nanai needs to be starting. If we're going to be paying him this kind of money, like this is huge money. He should be starting. Shouldn't be putting him on the bench. You never know, though. Todd might make a change an hour before kickoff and start Nanai. Who the hell knows? But I'm comfortable with everything else, I suppose. I do feel for Harrison Edwards. I don't think he deserves to be 18th man. I feel like he should be in the team. He did nothing wrong to get dropped. I think he just had to make way for other players that were coming back from injury, like Tamalolo and Cohen Hess and McIntyre and all these other guys. But the wild card for the weekend is going to be Zach Labart, because Todd said in the press conference after the Broncos game that Zach Labart will be back in if Vialia isn't good to go. Now, Labart in Queensland Cup, he played his first game was 2 weeks ago. He played 60 minutes, missed 0 tackles. And then on the weekend, he played the full 80. I think he made 15 from 15 tackles, missed 0 tackles, scored a try, and he apparently played really well. So if any of the outside backs have an off game against Canberra, Zach Labart is literally pushing for a spot. I thought Robert Derby was going to be the one to make way for Zach Labart, but apparently not. What's your take on Labart?
Yeah, well, like Labart's is my same opinion. What I think about Clifford.
Yeah,
you know, I think Zach, it's his spot. You know, like because he, you know, I thought he's a great player. You know, like you say, he's good defense. He's good in attack. So to me, if he's fit,
you're playing him.
I'd play him. Yeah, especially when you're losing the way we're losing.
Problem is, who do you drop? Because Villiers seems to be like he's going to be there regardless. Talangi is obviously their origin player. It'd be very tough to drop Purdue because he's been one of our better players. I think Robert Derby is the odd one out at the moment because I think Labart's got to come into this team somehow. Robert Derby, as solid and fine as he was against the Broncos, did nothing wrong there. I think Labart should be coming in for Robert Derby. And again, do you put Labart on the wing? Do you put Vialia on the wing and put Labart into the centers? Like, what would you do with that situation?
Yeah, well, that's
do you put Jackson Purdue on the wing, maybe?
Yeah, it's a hard one. Big.
That's tough.
Who's good under the high ball?
Well, I remember in the semi-final last year against the Sharks when we lost Val Holmes and Kyle Felt. I remember Viliami Vialia went to the right wing where Felt usually was. And he played on the right wing and he actually did quite well. He looked really solid. And Vialia is a quicker player than I thought he was. So maybe Vialia could play on the wing. And he's a big body, so I don't know. He could be on the wing potentially in the future.
Yeah, they are. It's, like you say, when you got guys that you feel need to be there, that is a hard decision. Who do you leave out?
Yeah, that's the tough part. Who do you leave out? Yeah.
But with our terrible attack and terrible edge defense, you've got to bring in a guy like Labart. It's
got to be there. He's got to be there. Like, if I had to make a change, I'd be taking out Robert Derby. I'd be putting Labart back in the team. Maybe put Vialia onto the wing, Labart into the centers, just to see how it goes. Like, I think Zach Labour would actually combine well with Dearden, Murray Talangi on that left edge. I think that would work quite well as a combination.
Yeah.
I think it would.
Well, well, hopefully it'd be someone that would give Dearden, I don't know whether he's not confident to give the ball, but it just too many dummy and run.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
To me, when you're setting up for something and you love, if that's your, which seems to be signature move, the first 5 touches of the ball, you've got to just give it. And
Yeah, I think
it puts the opposition in doubt. What's he going to do?
I think he's running and doing the dummy too much, like you said, the signature move. I mean, he's doing it a little bit too much at the moment. But yeah, overall, I think it's a strong side. Obviously, taking on the Raiders won't be an easy game. We've seen how good the Raiders have been to start. They got a touch up against Manly the other night, but I wouldn't take much out of that game, considering 4 of Manly's tries were when it was 13-12. So wouldn't take a lot out of that game. But the Raiders, they've been good this year. They beat the Warriors pretty well over in Vegas, and then they gave the Broncos a bit of a touch-up down in Canberra. So it won't be an easy game. The Raiders are playing well, so we're going to have to be at our best to beat them on Saturday. That is for sure.
It's a good chance it's going to be pissing down rain too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it hasn't stopped between here and Townsville. It's just I'm a bit worried about are we going to be able to make it?
Oh, because of the floods and stuff?
Yeah.
Shit. Fingers crossed that you're able to make the game on the weekend.
And make it home.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, exactly right.
I'd rather get there and be stuck and not be able to get there.
Some news that broke about an hour ago before we came on air. Tom Chester, the injured Cowboys outside back at the moment, he has re-signed for 1 year, a 1-year extension. I think it's a very good decision from the club to keep Tom Chester. Very good young player. Obviously had a few injuries, which hasn't been. He's been a bit unlucky with injury and whatnot. But what's your take on this? Tom Chester re-signing for a year.
Yeah, well, I'm happy, because he is a good backup.
He is, yes.
You need that depth, and he does. He is a bit of elusive sort of a player.
He does cover a few positions, which is what you need in the NRL at the moment. He's, what would you say is his best position? Because we've seen him at fullback. He's played a little bit on the wing. He's done a really good job in the centres in the past, although he's pretty small for a centre. He can play 5'8" as well. What would you say is his best position?
Well, I think the most I've seen him is centre. Like you say, he's a bit small, but I think you just need a guy like that who's going to, like you say, fullback, wing, 5'8", centre.
I'll tell you what I'd do next year. Obviously, it's a long way away from now, but you know how Melbourne have got Wishart on the bench, and they use him as a versatile player. Just come on and play anywhere. We should be doing that with Tom Chester. Just bring him on, have him play all over the place, and he can just add a bit of spark to the team. So I'd be using Chester as a jersey 14 utility type role for next season. That's what I'd be doing. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you say, you lose. It's hard to be able to have the crystal ball, but you lose the centre early in the game.
It's hard.
And the whole balance of our team is out of whack.
Well, I'm not trying to make excuses, but for 2 weeks in a row, we lost Braden Burns against the Sharks with a hamstring, which had Sam McIntyre in the centres for about 60 minutes. And then on the weekend against the Broncos, we lost via Leah after about 25 minutes. And we had McIntyre in the centers again. So that's 2 weeks in a row now where we've lost an outside back for the whole game, a winger and a center. And poor Sam McIntyre's had to go out there and play in the centers. Now, nothing against Sam McIntyre. Like, we know he's going to go out there and give it his all and play it to his best, but he ain't a center. He's going to let tries in. I think he might have let in 3 or 4 against Cronulla the other week, and obviously he let that try in for I think it was Jesse Arthurs on the weekend. Obviously not his fault, out of position, but it's tough when you lose an outside back. You need a utility on the bench. Now, I'm going to throw this to you. So Zach Labert's coming back. Obviously, he might play NRL this weekend or he might play Q Cup. Would you be tempted to move Jackson Purdue to the bench as a utility role and have Labert just go into the centers? Like, do you think that could be something that could work?
Yeah, for sure.
Because
the only problem I have is Jackson Purdue has been one of the few shining lights who looks like a bloke. He has scored tries and he's looking hard to stop. So if he was on the bench, I certainly wouldn't want him to be on the bench for way too long.
Yeah, that's the only concern with that situation. That's the only real concern. Yeah, look, it's tough. Like, there's so many headaches at the moment. Like, we played Tom Duffy for 2 games at halfback, didn't work out. We had Clifford on the weekend. I wouldn't say Clifford was terrible against the Broncos, but I would say he needs to run the ball a little bit more. He kicks well. Like, some of his kicks were really good in the weekend, and I didn't have a problem with his game, really, but he needs to run the ball a little bit more for me. And if he does that, he'll probably stay in the team. If he just goes out there and kicks and doesn't demand the ball and doesn't run, he'll end up getting dropped by round 5. So it'll be interesting what happens with this weekend, because I think everyone's under pressure at the moment. Like, the clubs, obviously, we started the year off shit. We need to get a win. So
if we're going to keep running the theme of dropping players, we would have to drop everyone eventually,
which would end badly.
Because no one is really, like I reckon Purdue's probably about the only one who sort of stands out in that as, looking dangerous. Whereas the rest of the team are just aren't really offering a lot. Like, our 2 best players in attack, Dearden and Drinky, have been ordinary.
All right. I'm gonna throw this at you as well, and I think we spoke about it in the green room before we come on air. I don't like changing halfbacks and changing halves too much, because we know how hard it can be to build combinations. But if we lose this week, and if we lose to Penrith next week, and we're at a situation where we're 0-5, would you take a gamble with nothing to lose and just move Jackson Purdue to halfback?
Yeah, if I was going to do that, I'd want Clifford on the bench.
Okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind it at all. Because I think Clifford will probably get until round 5, maybe round 6. And if he doesn't improve, then Todd's going to be thinking, well, what am I going to do now? And then Jackson's going to have to come in. Because I feel like it's at the point where you look at some of the other teams that have moved some of their outside backs to the half. Like we've seen with Newcastle, Fletcher Sharp, who was a winger last year, He's at 5'8". He's doing well for himself. You got the Titans who have got like Jaden Campbell and AJ Brimson in the halves. You've got who else is doing it? You got other teams that are playing smaller guys in the halves. If we're 0-5 and we're looking terrible, we might as well just throw something out there and go, well, all right, Purdue, your turn to play halfback. We might as well give you a crack. But then again, it'll look real bad on Todd Payton because then he'd be like, okay, this is your third halves pairing in the first 6 rounds of the year. And then obviously the pressure of him getting sacked will continue to blow up in the media like it has been. I think maybe we just try and keep the same team for this weekend like we did against Brisbane. Try and build combinations. And if we don't win this week or next week and we're 0-5, they might as well make some changes for Perth. Like, if we lose this week and next week, we might as well just make a shitload of changes for Perth and go, all right, fuck it, we're making changes. Who cares?
Well, just you look at how well we did with no Origin players there.
Oh, yeah.
When we beat Penrith and the Roosters.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to drop Nanai, you've got to start dropping everyone who doesn't perform. And eventually you'll have, the richest Q Cup side in the competition.
Richest Q Cup side. You're not wrong about that. Just off topic, because we'll talk about what needs to change. If we go 0-5, and then obviously we've got the Perth game in round 6, do you think Todd survives? If we lose this week and next, do you think Todd survives his job?
I don't think so. But I honestly believe that team that played Broncos, if we can build combinations, because, again, we've got to remember that's the first game that those guys played together. I reckon if that team played round 1, round 2, round 3, and it was still 0-3, then I'd be like, yeah, let's just change the fuck out of the side.
Yeah.
But I believe that if that team was playing, whether we had Bateman on the bench or him not in the side, but Nanai starting, I'd stick with Kai O'Donnell.
Yeah,
I believe that team is going to win games. And I actually think we're going to have a win this weekend.
Well, obviously, we kind of need to win because it's getting a bit desperate stages. Now, I'm going to say something that's a little bit unpopular, and I don't know how many people will agree with this. Yes, we're 0-3 to start the year, and there probably are things that need to change, like defensive structures and whatnot, but we have had a tough draw. And I know every team gets a tough draw, but we played Manly round 1, who have been hyped up as a team that'll finish anywhere between top 4, 5th and 6th. We played the Sharks, who are a top 4 team. We played the Broncos, who are also probably around the same level as Manly, if not better. Like, we've played 3 serious teams that are probably going to be up there at the end of the year with Melbourne, Penrith. Yes, the Cowboys should be better, and I genuinely believe that we are a top 8 side and potentially pushing for 5th or 6th. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of time with what we lost with Val and Feltz and Chad and Finney Fuiaki, Jake Granville. But it's not like we lost to teams like the Tigers, the Titans, the Knights, the Warriors. We played 3 teams that are pretty serious. Like, Cronulla's a top 4 team last year. They had Fanil Blake. They're arguably a top 3, top 2 team. with what they've got. Manly were the same level as us last year. They've arguably gotten better from what we've seen from them. And Brisbane, they got a new coach and they've got a really good side that made a grand final 2 years ago. So, I mean, I'm not making excuses for our tough draw. Like, obviously, it's not ideal, but we have played 3 really, really good quality teams. Now, if we had lost our first 3 to teams like, say, the Dragons, the Roosters, and say the Dolphins, if we were 0-3 and that was our 3 games, then yes, I would be very concerned. But considering who we've played, what our draws look like, I can sort of live and understand why we are 0-3. Like, it's a tough draw. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Last year was the other way around.
We had Dolphins, Knights, Dragons, and we flogged the Dolphins and Dragons, and then we obviously just got over the Knights. But we had a soft draw to start last year.
Yeah. And
This
like
year,
I said, people don't put this stuff into consideration. Top sides playing against not our preferred starting team. We've
exactly right.
Heel and Lukey, big loss. Not having
Tamarolo was out for the first 2 games.
Clifford wasn't fit to play round 1. Then we decided.
Zach Labour, our starting centre, he was out.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't our strongest team.
And then we were still, trying to work out who's going to be the best replacement for Felt.
Yep, and Holmes and all these other guys. So, not making excuses for our slow start, but we have played a lot of good teams. Like, the Raiders are probably around it. Like, if you put the 2 teams together on paper, the Raiders are probably a level just below us, if not similar. Like, the Raiders are a good side. I think they could make the 8 this year. Like, they're a chance. They're probably not far from us, or if not, the same level. So, obviously same with the Rabbitohs. We play South Sydney and Perth in 2 weeks. That's going to be a very interesting game. So, obviously, we need to get a win this weekend, though. Like, if we lose this, but Penrith next week down there in Sydney at CommBank, which will probably be the same price of what the Roosters were when they beat them a few weeks ago. So we need to win. We need to win this weekend. It's important.
Yeah, and I think like, I know you can't keep comparing, but last year I don't think we were winning. I think we went into another. We started to lose a few, and we went down. I think you were there for the freezing cold Canberra game that we.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were. The first half we were thrashing them.
Yeah, it was like 28-0 or something.
We dropped our guard and let them, look like a chance to come back. But I think we went on a run after that, didn't we?
I think we were up 22-0 at half time, and then it got to 28-0, and then they scored a couple of late tries, and it didn't really matter. Yeah, we did go on a bit of a run after that. I think. What did we do after that? We beat the Raiders. Then we had a bye. Beat Penrith at Penrith during Origin. Then I think we lost to Manly by 1 with that field goal game, which was fucked. Then we beat the Dogs. And yeah, we went on a bit of a run. We beat the Dogs, and we beat up the Bulldogs. Tigers, maybe? I don't remember who it was. Oh, yeah, I can't remember who it was. But yeah, we did go on a bit of a run after that. But yeah, hopefully this weekend. I think it's must win this weekend. It really is important. It really is.
Yeah, I'm confident for a win this weekend.
Well, I'm expecting a win. I mean, it has to happen. Like, gee whiz. We have to win. Like, far out. Now, I will say, and I don't want to I don't want to write the Raiders off because you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but the Raiders haven't beat us since 2021. It's been a while. It's been a while since they beat us. I think we've won our last 6 against them. So we've dominated the fixture last few times. All right, let's get to the tips for the weekend, and we'll get some predictions for the Cows Raiders game, and then we'll do a couple of fan questions. So tomorrow night's game, it's the Rabbitohs and the Panthers from a cool stadium in Sydney. Who do you like in this one? Surely the Panthers don't lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's hard to tip against, as much as I don't like them. I think the Panthers, to be honest, I hope they lose, but if I'm going to put my money on it, I'll be backing Panthers.
Yeah, I'll go Panthers as well. I think they'll be bouncing back. Roosters and the Titans from Allianz Stadium. Now, I was going to tip Titans, but Keanu Kinney's been ruled out, which makes me lean towards the Roosters.
Yeah, I think I'll go the Roosters.
I'll go the Roosters because it's down there in Sydney. The Battle of Brisbane on Friday night, Dolphins and the Broncos.
Go the Broncos. I hope the Dolphins win, but
yeah, it'd be nice to see Dolphins win, but I think Broncos win and win well. Saturday, Dragons Storm from Cogra.
Storm.
I'm going Dragons. They're my upset of the weekend. Storm will get a few out. I think Dragons can cause an upset, so I'm going to go the Dragons. We'll get the Cowboys Raiders after. Sharks and the Bulldogs. This game could have been a great game, but no Burton, no kick out, so I'm going to go the Sharks.
Yeah, I'll go the Sharks.
Manly Parramatta on Sunday from Brookvale. I know there's a lot of drama with the Cherry Evans stuff, but I think Manly win and win well. Parramatta are in all sorts.
Yeah, I agree. Manly by a country mile.
And Sunday night, this game will actually be somewhat good, I reckon. West Tigers and the Warriors. This should be an entertaining game.
Where is it?
It's at Campbelltown. Capacity is about 20,000. Sunday night. Tough game to pick.
I'll go the Tigers.
Yeah, I think I'll go Tigers as well. Although, if the Warriors won, I would not be surprised. Would not be shocked. The Warriors are good at doing that. Like, you could be 7 from 7 with your tips. Last game comes down to the Warriors. You think Warriors will lose. They just love an ambush in that last game. So, I'll go Tigers, but should be a really close game, that one. All right, let's get to the predictions for the big game on Saturday. Obviously, 4:30 up in Queensland if you're going to the game. 5:30 for us here in New South Wales. Cowboys versus Raiders. Predictions. Give us a score prediction and a first try scorer prediction.
I'm going to go. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll go 24-20.
Yep.
And I think I'll tip your man Dearden to do one of his show and goes and actually.
I back him every week. I back him every fucking game. Fucking does my head in. Well, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think. Oh, you said it's gonna rain, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go 26-18 Cowboys, so an 8-point win. First try scorer, I'm gonna go not Tom Dearden. Good Lord. You know what? I'll go Jake Clifford. Yeah. I think he's due. He's due for a big game. I remember last year he came in against the Raiders late in the year and he scored first and he had a great game. So I'm going to back him in to do it again. Clifford first try. Cowboys to win. Hopefully.
You're picking my man. I'm picking your man.
Yeah. If we lose, I might cry, to be honest.
I'll definitely cry, but
I'm getting tired of losing, man. So if we lose, might be time to cry.
we need
Might
to
be
win
time.
because I hate going to the leagues club after a loss.
Oh, it was a weird feeling when oh my God. That was the first time I went to Townsville in round 2 when we played the Sharks. First home game. That was the first time I've been there after a loss. Oh, it was an ugly feeling. It did not feel right at all. It was weird. It was weird. All right, couple of fan questions, and then we're gonna get on out of here. Let's get to them. So we got one from my good friend Luther King. Who would you like the Cowboys to sign as a key player? I think we need a front row for next year because I think Jordan McLean's coming to the end, and I think I said it last week. I think I said I want Mo Fodawaker, but I don't know, man. Key player? Well, we definitely need a hooker because we're losing Robson. So I would say a hooker that I would like to sign. I believe he's negotiating with clubs right now. He's looking around from Canberra. Tom Starling. I wouldn't mind signing him. I would not mind it.
Yeah, I'd like I know he's not much footy left in him, and I know we're not going to get him, but I'd love to see Daly Cherry Evans if he's.
It would cost a friggin' fortune, wouldn't it? That would cost a lot of money in the cap. Another question we got here is: will the Cowboys still make the 8 despite the 0-3 start? Yes. It's a long season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. 0-3, not where you want to be, but I'm fairly confident we're good enough to make the 8 still. I think we can sneak in there.
Yeah, I still believe that we're going to go on a run.
Yeah, I do too. It's just a matter of when, really.
We did it the opposite, like we just mentioned. We did it the opposite. I believe that last year we went on a win. This year we're going to go on a loss, and then we're going to go on a win.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Once we get our mojo, get a bit of cohesion, bit of familiarity, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah. And last question we got here is: should Kai O'Donnell still be starting over Jeremiah Nanai, considering we're paying him big money? Well, if you ask me and Callan, just like you are, Nanai should be starting regardless. Whether you start John Bateman or you start O'Donnell, I think we would probably get more out of Bateman off the bench because he can play through the middle and he can play on an edge. So I think Nanai should start with Kai O'Donnell and Bateman should come off the bench, but that's just me.
Yeah,
everyone has their own differences.
I'm 100% behind you.
Yeah,
I think Kai O'Donnell is going to be a star of the future.
Yeah, I do too. All right, we'll answer the last one. Last question from Zach. And Zach wants to know, should the Cowboys be the home team when they play at Magic Round, considering they're a Queensland team and they're always the away team so basically what he's saying is, because the Cowboys are always the away team at Magic Round, even though we play a Sydney club at Suncorp, he's saying that should we be the home team?
Well, we probably should, but I'm glad that we're not because we don't lose a home game.
I'm probably in the same boat. I mean, common sense would be, okay, we're going to give the 4 Queensland teams, they're going to be the home team for Magic Round, no matter what. If you don't like it, then you're probably going to lose Magic Round. But we've actually never been the home team for Magic Round, which is pretty bizarre, I think. Pretty crazy to think. I think the reason why they do it is so they don't have to do another travel, like another trip. Like, we're playing the Warriors at Magic Round this year. The Warriors are the home team. If that wasn't the case, we would probably be playing in New Zealand this year. So I'm actually okay with it. It did annoy me the other year when we played Roosters at Magic Round, and we were the away team because I really wanted to play at Allianz. But we played Roosters and South at Magic Round twice, and they've both been the home team on both times. So, yeah, we're playing the Warriors this year. They're the Warriors are the home team. I'm looking forward to it, I guess. So,
yeah. Well, I, it's no secret I want to go to New Zealand to watch them, but the advantage of, like for our players,
it's good for us.
We don't have to travel to New Zealand. Like poor me, I miss out, but I think of our team and the advantages of not having to travel to New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. All right. Thanks, Callan. It's been a good show tonight. Really enjoyed it. I apologise if I was a bit flat, everyone. Like I said at the start, I'm frustrated with losing. We need a win. Because if we lose this weekend, I may sing a very sad song at the start of the podcast next week. I might get some lyrics, make up a song. It's going to be sad. So, fingers crossed we win this weekend.
I can probably give you some lyrics.
I don't doubt that. Oh. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure you guys go and check out Callan's channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to his channel, guys. Links in the description. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, guys, you can do that as well through Super Chat, PayPal, and PayID. There is an option if you want to donate to the channel. If you want to do that option is available. So, anyway, we're out of here. We're going to go and pray to the heavens that the Cowboys win on the weekend. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Go the Cowboys.
Go the Cowboys.
Go the Cowboys. See you in the next one.